Hey guys, and welcome back to the Car of the Day. I am Sam Crack, and today we're going to take a look at a salvage 2008 Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren that was an unfortunate casualty due to all the flooding caused by Hurricane Harvey in Texas. Now this car was sent in to me by Andre. Thank you very much, Andre. If you have a car you want featured on the Car of the Day, be sure to write me at samcrackauto@gmail.com and be sure to write COTD in the subject line. Now let's take a look at this SLR McLaren. Well guys, this is a sad one. Here it is. It looks to be in great shape from its first picture. This car carries a flood damage salvage title in the state of Texas. They don't know the odometer reading on it. It obviously says the primary damage is a flood, but the secondary damage is interesting, and that's a biohazard and chemical damage. Now this is something we've touched on before. Usually biohazard and chemical damage is something that comes with a car that was in a severe accident, has some blood or some other bodily fluids in it. In a moment, when we look at the pictures, you're gonna find out why this car has biohazard damage. It's very apparent. Here they tell us the estimated retail value is $385,000, and the bid is already at $55,500. This is kind of sad to look at. As we see, there's moisture in the headlights. It's in beautiful shape, the body. And the tail lights even have some moisture in them when you see the back end here. And here's the interior shot, which shows us where the biohazard comes in. You can see all on the dashboard there's mold growing, which shows you how high the floodwaters were in Texas. This was likely stored in some guy's garage, and he didn't expect this to happen. The seats look to be in pretty decent condition. There's a little bit of some sort of staining on the bottom there. And the engine looks to be in excellent condition, really. This car likely had pretty low miles on it. There's even condensation in the gauge cluster in the interior of the car. This car probably was almost completely submerged in water.
The body of the SLR, and I mean all of it, is made from carbon fiber.
I remember when this SLR McLaren first came out. I remember when Jeremy Clarkson first reviewed it on Top Gear. This was a truly iconic V8 supercharged, almost muscle car supercar. It was kind of an insane collaboration between Mercedes and McLaren, and it even had one really controversial feature, which was the fact that it still had a cassette player on the interior, which likely doesn't work anymore due to the flood, and probably the last thing I'd look to replace if I were rebuilding it. Now, the question comes to mind, what should we do with a car like this? And what I really hope is done with this car is that somebody does take it apart and rebuild it. It's gonna have to be stripped down to the bare parts, kind of like Car Guru did with his Tesla. As far as the engine, transmission, powertrain goes, you'll obviously drain all the fluids out and refresh everything. You want to make sure all the moisture's out before you get a car like this running. And then it's onto the interior where all the modules and electronics lie. This is what's going to be the tough part, because I'm guessing that a lot of these parts not only are restricted, but probably are not even manufactured anymore. To give you an example, on my 2007 Mercedes S600, some interior parts that were options are no longer made anymore, and the only way to get them is to buy them used. Now, those are generally on components that are not necessary to have the car operating, like an iPod adapter or something like that, but this was a limited production car with a very limited quantity run. So it's likely that the parts are going to be difficult, but again, I think someone with the wherewithal, and depending on how much salt water was mixed in the flood, if any, hopefully not much, because sometimes hurricanes mix with the water that's nearby, and then you have a saltwater or freshwater mixture. Hopefully someone will be able to bring this car back to its former glory. Now maybe you caught something I didn't in the photos or in the listing. Maybe you have a question about this SLR Mercedes. Please, let's start a discussion in the comments section below. I love to hear what you have to say, and I read pretty much every single comment. Also, if you have any general questions about this car or any other, be sure to contact me. Everything you need to do so is in the description box below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will catch you very soon.